nice to see so many great faces here that I know from past experiences. It's great to follow Laurel. I actually met Laurel maybe 3, 4 years ago at the first Nomad Fest I came here in Bansko. Was super impressed with her and how she carried herself. And it's been amazing to see how she has progressed herself and relationships and now giving advice about relationships to all of you. So I'm really happy to follow that because the next step after finding that person of your life is building a family, if that's what you choose to do. And many people have questions in terms of how that's actually done. So I'm excited to share with you my experience and then leave enough time for questions at the end. So the first thing I will start with is this quote. It resonates very deeply with me. If you can see your path laid out in front of you, step by step, then you know it's not your path. Your own path is one that you make with every step you take. That's why it's your path. Now, how many people resonate with this quote? Okay, so lots of nomads resonate with this. I resonate with this because when I was about 30 years old, I had the perfect life. I had the perfect relationship, an amazing job. I had financial freedom, meaning that for the rest of my life, I didn't have to work. However, that was not my life. I was empty inside. I felt that this is somebody else's life I'm living, and it's not mine. So I changed everything. I left the relationship, I quit my job, I left the financial security with no net. And I went out in the world and build that life step by step where today I feel fulfilled, I feel whole, and I feel complete. Just like Laurel said, when you feel that way, there's nothing that can compare to that. No financial security, no relationship, no anything when you feel great inside. So the questions that I asked myself many years ago were these, and I'm sure you also ask yourself these questions. You know, what does life look like when not defined by others? What does childhood look like when not defined by school? And what does adulthood look like when not defined by a 9 to 5? I ask these questions still today and make sure that I'm living them every single day so that I'm happy and whole and fulfilled. As Tanya said, my name is Lona Alia. I am the head of revenue at Safety Wing, a Y Combinator venture-backed founder. I raised $2 million from Silicon Valley investors, New York, and Europe and Middle East investors. I went through the crazy ups and downs of entrepreneurship. So I'm actually a recovering founder or entrepreneur, if any of you know what that is. I'm very happy to be at Safety Wing. I've been here for over 4 years. I've built fully remote teams. We have people in over 50 countries, in all time zones, as well as most continents. And I'm a big proponent of this work from anywhere lifestyle. Location independence is something that really it's the best thing that I've ever found in my life. My story actually starts back in Albania. I was born and raised there. I left the country when I was 15 due to lack of opportunities. Now, because of remote work, opportunity is more distributed, whereas before we had to physically move countries. I know as nomads, you move countries yourself, but it's because of your choice and you want to experience how those countries are. Whereas when you immigrate, it's a completely different experience, and I actually don't wish that on anyone. However, I did the best that I could with it. I was able to accomplish my dreams that I'd set out for myself, and I made it, to many countries. I set out to work remotely very early on when nobody was doing that, and then I chose to do it with my family. So when we found out that we were going to have a child, we were living in New York City at the time, pretty transient, living all over. Um, he was born there. Like a month later, we get the passport and we're out of there. So we left the country, we left New York, we bought a car in Germany, started driving down south from there, going to different places every few days or so with a newborn baby. And we haven't stopped doing that ever since. You might ask why. Well, I want to say that I'm selfish, but maybe that sounds bad. I just want to live my life the way that I used to live my life, full of adventure, full of surprises, seeing new things, experiencing life fully, versus being stuck to a new human being in one place, maybe in a concrete box, in a job that I go in and out every day, completely on autopilot. I just didn't want to live that suburban life of America. That would be like the end of me. So I think many of you probably have postponed having a family because you don't want that type of life. But I want to show you that you can still live your amazing nomadic life, even with a family. So what are the advantages for children? Well, the advantages are many. Of course, the exposure to diverse cultures and languages, developing an adaptability and resilience by changing flights and places and Airbnbs and languages and whatnot. You enhance the creativity and problem-solving skills for the kids. Here's a picture of my kids. They're on the left, waiting outside of a church in Provence, France. Last year, waiting for the wedding crew to come out, they just started playing with the local kids. They don't know any French. They don't know them at all. And I could not pull them away from them. So they were just, playing there. And they did this everywhere we went. Every town square we went, they found kids. They're playing with a ball. They just put themselves in and like, can I play with you? Whatever language they speak. And they just get by. And just somehow they've been able to get by in 3 languages. This was not by design. I'm not the kind of parent that's like, you must learn 10 languages by this age. I don't like that. I'm not like that. So they kind of have picked up these things because we have traveled to certain places, like Spanish, for example, Mexico, Costa Rica, Puerto Rico. They've been able to pick that up because we just put them in the local school and then they can figure it out, like if they don't know Spanish, they'll learn. And English because, the US is a home base, and then of course Albanian because we speak that at home. So people always ask us like, oh, you do this lifestyle, but what about school? Like school is so important. Well, I've come to find out that school actually is not that important. I don't know if you guys know about this NASA study. It was done, I think, in the 70s. They were trying to figure out how do you figure out a genius, right? Like who is a genius? So they did a study of all these kids, and when they were 5 years old, 95%, I think, tested genius level. And then they tested them maybe like 2, 3 years later. That had dropped to like maybe 75. And then when they came out of school, they were only 5% genius, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. So basically, school kind of like dumbs you out. So when people ask me about school, I'm kind of like, what is school? With ChatGPT now, it's like you can learn anything you want. You can be anywhere and learn from your curiosity. And that's what world schooling is about. Many parents that travel the world, they actually world school their kids. For me, I actually need my kids to be somewhere for many hours so I can work. So I found that Boundless Life actually works quite well. They have locations in places like Bali, in Spain, in Portugal, Montenegro, South America. The fee, however, is about 4,000 to 9,000 a month for the whole family, but they give you housing, community, and school. So, but I'll talk about this, like how we've hacked this to make it much cheaper. And what about community, people ask. As nomads, of course, you know how it is. You feel lonely on the road. You cannot make very deep relationships because you're moving from place to place. You kind of, feel baseless sometimes. But there are ways to do it out there. You can build community. As I said, Boundless Life is a great example. There's a couple of pictures over there to the right-hand corner. And then here, Bansko Nomad is a great world schooling hub. There's a picture of Andreas and his family. We were hang out with them last year. We came back this year to be here for a month with our kids and check it out. So you can definitely do this on your own also, much cheaper. The benefits, as we mentioned, are very many. As I said, I want to be able to feel alive. I want to live every single day by living my best day. I want to see the world while I also, raise my kids. I don't want to just be stuck in one place and then see my life go by. So I think it's great to be able to do this with kids. They see more outdoors. They're more in nature, clean air, interesting people. So I think they learn a lot. The disadvantages, as you know, sure, don't know what your Airbnb is going to look like. You're with kids, you arrive, the pictures do not match the reality. There's leaks, there's something going on, but you just like make it work. If you're like a resilient nomad, you know how that goes. So yes, definitely there's some things that you need to fit there. A couple more slides and then I'm done. So some tips for aspiring nomad parents when you get there. The first thing that we do is research a destination. So you want to find out places that have great geo arbitrage. So if you get paid in dollars, euros, or pounds, you know what that means. You're in Bansko, you already know what geo arbitrage is. You can get a place here for $500 a month versus a place in I don't know, anywhere in Europe for about 2,500 a month. It's a great opportunity to live in a beautiful place, clean air, clean water, low noise. Those are luxuries in life, in my opinion. And you can have that at a fraction of the cost in a place like Bansko versus going to another city in the world. Then we research childcare, right? It's like, where are we gonna put our kids? So I go onto like Facebook groups, whether it's world schooling, whether it's expats, and we figure out what are some places we can drop our kids off. Once we get there, I'll just go by and say, hey, can I put my kid in for a month or 2 months? And if they say yes, I said, okay, here you go. I don't ask many questions. I just go with the flow. Also, minimalist packing. You guys know you cannot take everything with you. We don't like to buy too many things for our kids. So we only travel with one large suitcase from continent to continent and then just like a backpack in smaller trips. Health insurance is a big one and vaccinations needed. Really interesting. Safety Wing came out with Nomad Health this year, which is like a full health insurance for nomads and families where you can go to the doctor's visits, check your eyes and your dental and stuff. You're not just bound to like travel insurance. So this is pretty big. We can use it anywhere. Now, the biggest question people have is, will my kids be happy in the long run? And the short answer is, I don't know. I do know that this lifestyle prepares children for a globalized world by giving them this global mindset. They're experiencing various cultures firsthand. They're experiencing good networking skills, meeting people from around the world, chatting with them, understanding where they're coming from, and then have this innovative thinking where when you expose them to different ways of thinking and living encourages this creativity and innovation. Also, I believe that this type of lifestyle encourages a sense of global citizenship by giving them this environmental awareness. They understand, they're closer to nature, they have a stewardship for Mother Earth, they have diverse friendships, so building, friends with peers from different backgrounds is huge, and then empathy and compassion, which is a very big thing that the world needs today. And that's all that I have for you guys.